Hello, YouTube modeling community. This is your ghost of the past, Rusty Rotor, sporting the Rusty's T-shirt. Uh, now, we'll touch this real quick and kind of move on. I'll try to make this a fairly quick video. Apologies for two things. Actually, three things. First, segment number 7 on the Aquarod race team build. I had about 3 days worth of footage. I compressed it and edited it, uploaded it, and it went, disappeared. Can't be found. Don't know where it's at. Don't know what happened. So, okay, what do? You go back to your phone and, you got it, it's in there. No, it wasn't even in my phone anymore. Gone. Everything gone for that whole segment. I have no explanation other than say I'm sorry that there was that gap in that. I can tell you this. I won't show you until I'll show you in segment 8 if everything goes good uploading the video. There's 2 parts that I'm kind of leaning towards the manufacturer's errors, but they have to be corrected. And one is the stance of the wheels, which we've kind of already touched base on. I'm going to fix that. I don't like it after it's all said and done. I want the wheels straight. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to correct that and fix that. The back wheels, the axle is in straight. The differential, whatever you want to call it. I've taken measurements, front to back, back to front. Everything's exactly how it is. But the wheelbase, if it was visual, it would be like this. It's not. It looks just like this. And measuring it, it's straight. Both sides of the diff is straight. I have points of reference to measure to. It's straight, but yet it's off. I don't know how, but it's off enough that it looks wonky. So we have to correct that. And even though it is right, we may have to make it wrong to make it look right. You understand what I'm saying? It's just one of those aesthetic things so we got 2 aesthetic things to clear up and fix before we go any further on the chassis. But it is a complete rolling chassis right now. Part 7 was getting the tires and wheels mounted, the differential back in, getting the drive shaft in, the carrier bearing. I got a different term for it, but it's called a carrier bearing. We got that in, and that was part 7. So that's kind of what you missed in that. So again, I apologize for that. I don't know what happened to it. I like to point blame on YouTube, but it probably wasn't YouTube's fault. It's probably something I did I'm just not aware of. And I've tried to go back and get all the footage and then make another video. It just didn't. It was gone. All of it. It's out there in the interwebs somewhere floating around, I guess. We did get the shop cleaned up a little bit. And that's kind of jumping ahead, so let's back up here. My second apology is the absence in the past basically 3 weeks. I had to do some soul searching, I guess. I'm not going to get into it in length or anything, but you guys remember I've several videos where I've talked about struggling with the subs, my goals and plans for the channel. My goal is what drives me. I want to achieve these goals. It's no different than in a hobby than it is in your personal life. At work, each week you have goals. You got to commit to this, and this, and get this done. Or you're going to be out of a job. And then struggling with all that, I put myself under a lot of pressure, which I always do. But that's just me. And then we lost our main sponsor. So I want to kind of clean that up a little bit. I don't know if I left it open for interpretation. I don't think I did. I didn't really have any comments about it. But that aspect of it was, Hobby Nut Models was my number 1 sponsor. He's my number 1 guy. He's still my number 1 guy. So let's not, lose sight or focus of that. But that part of it was business. I brought business into the hobby. The channel had to produce as far as gaining subs, people visiting the site and purchasing something. That all drives that business end of it. I have to accept the blame because it's my channel. It just didn't hold up its end, make it lucrative for both. It was an equal thing. So I failed there. So, I apologize for that. What does that mean for the channel? It doesn't mean nothing. We're still an affiliate with Hobby Nut Models. His link will always be down below. You'll no longer see the banner at the forefront of each video. He is no longer the full sponsor of the channel. He is just an affiliate. So what's that mean? Well, it means if you're kind enough and you go down and you hit that link and you go buy something, the little bit, and I mean little bit, it will accumulate. It'll be like an account. Just a example. It sits in a little account and it builds up, and when it's built up enough, I can purchase something, or I can purchase something out of pocket, and it'll eventually get to the point where it'll cover shipping, which is a big thing. So we still have it there, and we are still friends. There's no hard or ill feelings either way. It's just, it was a business, and that's what it's about. So I had that weight on my shoulders. I had vacation coming up. I had a lot of stuff I had to get taken care of. A lot of personal things. Everybody's aware my body's broken and busted. That I had extra doctor's appointments, extra therapy, extra this, extra that. That just was eating up all my time. On top of it, it's springtime. I had to keep grass cut, weed eated, cars cleaned up, cars put in the shop to have their services done to them. It just all eats up my time, where normally I had all that time to be down here. And if you remember way back in my videos, I discussed that some of that may change, and it has. And it is going to for quite a while. So that's really crippled my plans and my goals for this year, which was to get one of the dioramas really going, and focus on that, and then finish up some past builds that I've stowed up on the shelf and walked away from. That part we are still going to do. The diorama, unfortunately, is going to hit the brunt of all of it. It's still happening. It's something I'm very passionate about and want to do, so I will be doing it. It's just not going to get started as soon, because right now I probably would be halfway through it, or close to halfway if I had all the time originally that I did. Now I don't. But it is going to happen, and you guys are going to come along for it. So I do apologize for that. So that's pretty much it. My goals, what I've talked about, where I want to be. I have to apologize for not being there. I know a lot of you guys are just tuned in to just see maybe specific things. They're still going to happen, guys. It's just not in the order and as quick as I would like them to happen. We're really going good on Jay's Cutlass. We've got the 32 back down. Right here, you guys can see it. It just needs, I got about a week's worth of work to do on this, and it'll be done. Then I can put it in the box and get it up out of the way, keep it safe until it's time to go to Acme. And then my focus is going to be on the Corvette, Jay's, and the Aqua Rod. Once we get the Aqua Rod done, we will be focusing most of the time into the diorama. Back burners will be the viewer's choice, wife's choice. Wife's choice isn't a priority. It's just not. I like it to be because it's for my wife, but it's not a priority. That one's very close. Similar to this, about a week's worth of work and it'll be done. So I know I can finish it up pretty quick. So we'll get that done before the end of the year, and probably start it on her new one for this year. Viewer's choice is important because it's what you guys picked, out of the options I gave you. I want to get it done. And then we've got the 53, which is just a personal build that I wanted to do. I'm only maybe an eighth of the way into it, so it's not a priority either. What do you call it? Skip my mind again. God. The one Joel from Iceman Collection sent us, the EV charger. That is a priority. Joel was kind enough to send that to the channel for us to review and build. And in return, as a thank you, I want to get it done. And we're close to going to paint on that. Just got a little bit more prep to do, and then we'll be into paint. The Ring Brothers charger. That's a personal thing. That's not something that I have to have done by a certain time. I wanted to get it done, take it to Acme this year, but it's not a priority. So I kind of got my priorities kind of all discombobulated in this whole process. And that's what I'm trying to rectify now. On top of, during these past 3 weeks, I came very close to shutting the channel down. Uh, it wasn't a, like an aha moment. Well, I'm just done with this. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. Type thing. It's like, I work really hard to do what I do. Uh, a lot of focus and energy goes into each one of my builds. I take that time to film it all, doing it, then all the editing, processing of it, and uploading it, and ensuring I have enough time down here to keep that going. Well, no, my personal time is encroaching in on my hobby time. And I was aware of that, but I was trying to fight it to keep it from happening, but it's not going to happen. So I was like, well, okay, I'm just going to shut the channel down because I just don't have the time. For every step I've taken forward in it, this whole process and my goals, what I want to achieve, I'm getting kicked in the teeth 4 steps back. How many times am I going to get kicked in the teeth before I say, I ain't got no teeth left? I'm done. And the icing on the cake was losing Mark as the main sponsor. But at the end of the day, it was business. And even at going through all that, I didn't feel that Mark was being mean to me or treating me unfairly. Why did he do this? It had nothing to do with that. It was everything else. Trying to achieve my goal of 1,000 subs. And I thought for sure, as fast as we made it to 500, we were going to have no problems getting to 1,000. Now, I knew we're not going to be no 50,000 or a million sub channel. I'm smart enough to know that. But then in the back of my head constantly, Rick, this is balling on a budget. This is your number one thing, balling on a budget. We're trying to create ways and do things to pay for the hobby without having to reach in my pocket. Can I reach in my pocket? Hell yeah, I can. I'll go buy a brand new 3D printer if I want it. I can go buy a CNC tabletop lathe machine if I wanted it. That is not the issue. That's like private sector. Normally, everybody delves into their private sector to pay for their hobby. Well, I'm unemployed. I'm semi-retired. I'm disabled, basically, whatever you want to call it. So now my income is a quarter of what it used to be. Okay? Well, I love this hobby. I don't want to give this hobby up now. How can I achieve that? And I've explained that in past videos. I've figured out ways to do things to make and generate enough income to support the hobby without reaching into my pocket. That way I don't have to worry about it. I don't have any money in my hobby account. I don't have any money. I can't buy nothing. No big deal. I got enough to mess with. I'm okay. And that's what I did over the past 5 years. I stocked up. I bulked up. I bought things in massive bulk that's going to last me for my life. And when I started going back through my receipts and figuring out what I spent, I'm like, wow, this is a fraction of what I would have spent if I would have just bought it from, Detail Masters or whatever. Any sponsors I could get to come on board along the way, it's going to make it that much cheaper for me to put out great content. And some of it's backfired, some of it's really panned out. So, at the end of the day, while I was sitting there on vacation, I kind of thought a lot about stuff, and I'm like, I got a lot of people that watch me that get exactly what I'm doing, that are appreciative of what I'm doing, whether it's 10 people or it's 1,000 people. So should I shut it all down? No, because then I quit. I'm not a quitter. I don't want to be, even in the hobby, I don't want to be looked at as, well, you just gave up. Why'd you give up? No, I don't want that either. So I'm not going to shut the channel down. Is it an option? Yes, it is. Because, like I said, I always say at the end of the day, you have goals. If I can't reach those goals and, do what I want to do, why do it? Because I could just sit in here and build models all day. Not film nothing, not and just take pictures in the photo booth at the end, and I can post them on Instagram, and I can go the way I was going before I came here. That is always an option, but that's not what I want. There's other things, and we've talked about it. We're not going to get into it. So now you kind of know. But we're not going anywhere. The aqua rod, hopefully we'll get the footage straightened out for part 8, and we won't have issues with it. We'll see the repairs that need to be made, and the next step, which is the engine, and getting the front drive shaft in and the engine in place, and have a completed chassis. It'll be on to probably the interior, the build, the paint of that, and any detail we put in there, and then we'll get the body and primer with the other bodies when they're done and ready. So that's kind of, that part's on hold, but we can still continue with the build because I want to get into that diorama, and that's what's, I got to get this done first. And the other builds that we want to try to get done before the end of the year. We're not going to get them all done. I was hoping to, but we're not going to. So we'll push that through till next year. And I always took the model of the month that Mark would send us, and I devote the time to build it. We're not worried. We're not going to be worrying about that anymore, because that's not coming anymore. To focus on the past builds that we do need to get done. So it actually frees up a little time, so to speak. But yeah, 32's on the bench. Aqua rod is going forward. J's, we'll talk about J's first real quick. Let me grab it. Both parts here. This would have been what's on the bench, that video that didn't get made because I just couldn't bring myself to doing it. We do have the roll cage done. Now that is about 60% scratch built. And I say that because I cut this roll cage. The original cage was cut in half this way, front to back, and this way, left to right, and narrowed to fit inside this car. And then I added the scratch part of it. So imagine if this went down through the dash, it would curve and come down and hit these posts. It would be on, but you're not going to see any of it, so why do it? I could do it, but there's no need. You'd never ever see it. Just be for the sake of doing it. And if this was sitting in there, this is how that would attach. So it'd be a complete, tubular roll cage. And the trunk's not opening, of course, but you would see these come down through the trunk and mount down in the back. There would be a fuel cell in there, blah, blah, blah. But we're kind of working with what we got. So we've got the front cage done. We've got the roll cage done. We just need to do some light sanding, maybe a little filling. I don't know. I thought there was a couple of areas that I may need to fill in a little bit, sand it down, and then it'll be ready for primer. This is ready for primer. 100% ready. We scratch built our steering column in. We added the rack and pinion. Got it to its proper spots. Everything's perfectly aligned. I mean, I can look down there, and both of those, that front suspension is perfectly aligned. I have mated the tires on here to still make sure I have clearance, and I do. Clearance in the back, and I do. We got our links in for our upper tubes of the 4-link, and then remember our lower links are going to the factory settings that we scooted in. So, this is a custom chassis. It's my design. It's not like you buy like I did on the GTX. It's an aftermarket kit. You put it all together and it lines up a certain way. This I'm making to line up the way I want it to line up, as I would if I was the designer of the car and the builder of the car, because I am. But that's done, ready. We got our holes drilled back here for our coilovers. Our coilovers are going to line up perfectly with the diff, the back bracket of the 4-link. So that all looks really good, just mocked up. But this is ready for primer now. So we're going to get this in black primer probably, maybe this week. We'll try to touch base on it Friday and see where we're at with it. This does need some finicky little touch-up work, but all it says is built. Now, both these points of contact, this one here and this one here, go down through the back seat's armrests. And they would go down through and attach to the frame. These would go through into the trunk and attach to the frame. These two on each side of the trans tunnel and would attach to the cross member. At that point, these would go down through and touch the frame and as you saw, the front bars are down to the frame. So everything has a point of contact like it's supposed to. Dashboard fits in between here, fits nice. These rest right smooth on the dash where I want them. Nothing is in the way of anything. It fits really good, so I'm really happy with that. And I am a little whopper jawed on this, but when it's in place and glued down and inside the car, you're not going to notice or see that. And I've put it together to make sure of that. But we can see, we've got all the points of contact that we need. It sits in there now, like it's supposed to. Everything touches. It's hard to show you. You can see that everything touches the floor. It's just not pushed down in there all the way, but it will. You can see there. Got to look down through there. And just looking at the side, you can see everything's like it's supposed to be according to the roof line. Everything fits in there nice. And that did take a lot of work. That's probably about 10 hours of work just in that roll cage, or more. I got it written down somewhere. I have to look. We do have our final sanding to do on this, and then this is ready for primer also. So we'll get this done. And then when I shoot primer on the body, we'll shoot primer on all the interior parts, because the interior is going to be white, just with whatever the kit came with will be in it. We are adding a shifter and a few little goodies here and there. We're going to do some wiring on the roll cage from the switches that'll be up here. So we got a little detail on the interior to do, nothing extravagant. But we did, after all the fitment, decide to go with a stock radiator, so we added an electric fan, and we'll wire that up also. I could have used the other radiator, but it was a lot thicker than this, and clearance is now an issue for the front of the engine forward, where those turbos come down and everything. We got our holes drilled. If you guys didn't see that, where'd that piece go? Here it is. These are the holes for the tubes for the turbos. Plenty of room to run everything. I got some of the tubes made. We just got to finish bending them, and then I match it and bend the other one so it's all uniformed. So we got quite a bit done, and that's pretty much the Friday video that you missed. I just couldn't bring myself to doing because I was so busy trying to get everything done. I had to get to bed early that night for the trip the next day, so that was last Friday's, not this past one, but the one before that. That's what that video would have all been about, so I think you're pretty well caught up. So moving forward, our goals are the same. Trying to reach that 1,000 sub. Trying to educate youth, inspire youth to get into the hobby, inspire anybody to stay in the hobby that's in the hobby. That was a point of conflict with myself. And moving forward, that's it. So we are waiting on a package from MGSF to come in. He's held it up twice now because there were some new items he wanted to add to it, and then the original kit we talked about, the trans kit for the Tamiya 300 SL Mercedes, the fat body kit. He is sending that also. He sent me a message while I was on vacation, so I didn't get it right away. I wasn't really on my phone at all. So we'll have that, and that'll be a build series, because that's what he requested. So we will do that. And after that, that's pretty much it. I will no longer be doing any commission builds. If any, maybe one a year. We're going to tone that down because everything else has to slow down until I get the free time that where I can do it. I compile too much on top of myself, which stressed me out, and a short time to get it done, and then try to figure real life into the picture. Well, real life comes first, so hobby comes second. And I got a little lost in that scenario, and I think I can see clearly now, and I know which route I want to go and where I want to be with it. The little hustler, we talked about that. That I believe, guys, is the one I'm going to use in Dylan's Pro Street build this year. That'll be the one I'll enter into it. Give you a little heads up. I want to tuck the tires inside. I want to lower that back end down on the ground a little bit. We will definitely be doing a different engine. and a lot of detail on the interior. Because there's a lot to work with there, believe it or not. It doesn't look like it's a small truck, but the what we call the foundation is there to build a really awesome model. So we will be doing that one. I had a couple other choices, but I'm leaning more towards that. Every time I got it right here in front of me, so it's like I'm always looking at it, and it's always going ideas. You know, what can I do? Can I do this? Can I do that? Can I do this? Yes, I can. While it's gone, we got our shipment in from Ryan Jones. I know I just jumped off topic, but I don't want to get a lot into that because it's not time for it yet. We got this great wheel set. Got 2 wheel sets and another thing. We're going to go roll with, and then that'll be the end of this video. But I'm going to take 2 of these out. These are shot Octanes, 21 by 9 and 22 by 14, concaved. These are $20 only at Z-Force Model Works. These are fantastic. Get it up there so you guys can see it, see the detail in that. And I'll turn it this way, you can see the concaveness of the wheel. Look at that. And these are two-piece wheels. So there's your back sleeve, the wheel face. So that gives you the availability to really get that detail painted in there. And here's your front sleeve. It's deep for the back. And then your tire, highly detailed. As you can see, like I told you guys, he sends them to me rough. I have to finish these off. Pardon for the nasty fingernails. I have not had time to sit there and give myself a manicure and clean them up. But anyways, you know, you can see that's what you got to sand away. And that's not hard to do, guys. It's super easy. But to give you an indication, so you know that's the back. This goes in from the back. And they fit really good and snug. And then the front sleeve, there's a lip on the outer ring, so that's what's facing out. Now you put it together, you got a beautiful wheel. Now you say, well, there's a hole in the center. Yeah. Mind you, when you order wheels from Ryan Jones, you get the caliper and rotor. They come with it. He's just not with my sets. I can print his caliper and rotor, so I don't need him to send them to me. And here's the front one. Same way, beautiful. Match the rear. The concaveness of it. Still a 2-piece wheel. Front ring, back ring, wheel center mounted to that, and then your tire. These are a directional tire, so pay attention when you're putting these on your model that the tread pattern is rolling to the front the way it should, left or right. And then, I'm not going to take these out because they're fiddly. Gives you 2 options. Regular center caps or 3-prong knockoffs. You know, for what did I say, $18 or $20? So it'll be about $25 after shipping. And then they're keyed in the back on the wheel. If you can see that, there you go. The face of that caliper will fit, or rotor will fit right in this little ring right here. Keys right in there, perfect. A little dab of glue, stick it in there, then it goes on your wheel, or on your differential or spindle, whatever, which wheel you're doing. But these will fit on a truck, car. It don't matter what it is. You may have to modify a little bit for the width. Not a whole lot of work, but I mean, like on a 32, they'd be, you know, spot on. Get that wire out of the way again. It's hard because the caliper's not on there. The caliper makes it stick off, so you can see the width. That's a nice little meaty tire, and the look. I don't want to drop anything here. Even these tires and wheels look fantastic. Just see, look at the look that gives it. So, you know, I'm always like a kid at Christmas morning. I love his products. He is my #1 guy. Anything I need designed or made, he's who I go to. I can't recommend him any higher. You guys go check these out. These will be on his website. The second set he sent us are Shot Revel 6, 22 by 9 and 22 by 14. So you're just offset or staggered, which however it goes. These are $18 only at Z-Force Model Works. I'm not gonna pull these out, but we can see the detail. The Look at the depth of those wheels. You can really get in there because it's a two-piece wheel. So this sleeve comes out, and then the wheel center is attached to the rear sleeve. Get in there and really, if you wanted to black that out in the center and have the wheel chrome or body color in the center, whatever decision you make. Same way, just beautiful, nice fat wide tires, nice tires for the front. These also would come with rotors and calipers. There is a center cap already in the detail, so you won't have no extras. And just great. $18 plus shipping, so it'll be about $24, $22 with shipping. So around $25. Average about $25 because mail changes all the damn time. But we got those, so we appreciate that, Ryan. This is just for a specific build. These are 1/25th scale for the 68 GTO grill insert with clear lenses. Fits the new release AMT 68 GTO. These are $8 plus tax and shipping, and only available through Ryan Jones and Z-Force Model Works. All this is an alternative, more high detail, more realistic looking than what comes in the kit. And he gives you 4 clear lenses also with it. And you get a great sticker. So, guys sell these stickers for $3 or $4 a piece. You're getting that, plus the grill insert, the lenses, for $8 plus tax. You can't beat that. That's a good deal. And you see, I'm not lying. Right there it is. $8. I don't know if mine's an AMT or not. No, it's not. But I'll purchase the that kit, and we will build it. It is a curbside, so it's not a lot of intricate work. We'll probably build it just as a curbside, but we will use this in it, and when we do that, you'll see how much better it looks than the kit grill. A lot more detail in there. I mean, this doesn't do it justice. Even if I took it out of the package, it doesn't do it justice as it does when you're actually looking at it. So we thank Ryan for that. There will always be some more stuff coming from Ryan. He's just a great guy. I love promoting his stuff. I love getting his stuff. So that's all we've gotten in the shop. I'll break this up on another video. The last stuff I bought from Mark was the Toyota Hilux Surf. It's the SUV, not the pickup truck. It's all lifted, big tires on it. We got some plans for that. I got some paint, some MCW paint, which I don't get overexcited about a lot of the paint, unless it's like Tropical Glitz. I get excited about their paint because it's just absolutely beautiful. Example right here in hand. Look at that. Let it shine. There's no flaws in the paint anywhere on this. This is my first paint job that's perfect. I mean, perfect. There's not even flaws hidden. It's perfect. I mean, there's not a lot of real estate to paint on this, but still. I mean, look at that. It's smooth as glass. No orange peel, no dirt, junk, anything. It's perfect. So, and the engine bay is perfect. It turned out really highly detailed. Now, if we can just finish it up with the same results, we'll be golden. And then we'll be moving on to the Corvette for Acme. That will take precedence above and beyond everything else because I want to make sure I'm done in time to take it. Hence the reason why we won't get too far into the diorama build. I was at my uncle's for a few days. Jumping off topic again here, but when we went on vacation, he had an old Dremel tool he gave me out in the garage. It's not actually old. He's just really rough on his tools. He's used this one time, but it was on the job site for quite a while. He owns a electrical company, and he only used it one time, and he threw it in the back of his work van, and it's sat there for a couple years and just got dirt and dust all over. It needs to be cleaned up. But he gave that to me and all the attachments. So now we have a secondary Dremel, and I have another wand I can put in this one. So I'll have one on the diorama table and one available to use probably by the downdraft table if needed. So that was a nice little gift from my uncle. Oops. And I think that's all we got in. Again, I'm out of shop cards. Would I still like to get them? Yes. If you want to send me a shop card, my email is always down below, as well as Mark at Hobby Nut Models. Send me an email, let me know, and I'll send you my mailing information. As soon as my new shop cards come in, I'll get one right out to you. I'm just waiting on them to be made. They're supposed to be done by October, so we'll see. Hopefully, some wood. Other than that, we're at where we're at. I am comfortable where we're at. I would like to be further in the game than what I originally planned, but we're not. We still have everything for the 1,000 sub giveaway. Remember to spread the word. Always be making sure you're still subbed to the channel. Hit that bell notification. You'll know when these videos come out. I thank you to all my past, my present, and future subscribers. We got a lot of great stuff coming up. And as time allows, I'll be filming more and doing more, and you guys will be here to see it all. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I think I'm kind of refocused and a little bit redriven, energized to get some stuff done. Now it's just a matter of when I have time to do it. We'll get going on like gangbusters, and we'll start knocking some stuff out. Quite a few models, about 4 models, are literally just a week or 2 away from being done. But it's having that week or 2 to get them done. That's key, you know. I can't control that. And I don't know of anything new coming in. I also want to say thank you, because there is a lot of people, believe it or not, that do contact me via email. They'll just ask for my mailing information, and they don't say anything else about it. They've sent me stuff, you know, little pieces of decoration, a model kit. Usually if it's a model kit, I will try to show that, try to build it on the channel. Anything that anybody sends me, I'll always try to make a point to show what it is and who it came from, just as a way of saying thank you. But I also like to see your stuff. So you can do that by sending it via email. Pictures of the builds you're working on, your plans, any questions you got, leave them down in the comments or send me an email. Hit that link down below, take you to Hobby Nut, go get you some MCW paints, paintbrushes, whatever it may be. I still like promoting Mark. I believe in what he does. I believe in him. I believe in his products, even though they're not his own personal design. But I believe in what he's doing with his online business. And I will still always promote him all the way through, even though I know he's not my main sponsor anymore. So don't let that deter you. If you need something, you're watching my videos, just hit the link, go pick you up something. It'll accumulate over there, guys. It'll help us get something for the channel down the road, and we'll, you know, it all falls under that balling on the budget. And anytime you got questions about any of that, how to do this, how to do that, just email me. Be glad to answer them however I can. I love the intercommunication with people, and I can sit here and talk all day, but I can't hear what you're saying. But you can type it out and send it to me in an email form, and that keeps me, oh, okay, well, yeah. You know, keep an open line of communication. And that's about it. There'll be some updates the next few weeks of upcoming events I'll be at. Not a whole lot. Like I said, I intend to do some shows this year. I have to limit those to a degree. Next year will be a different story. All the stuff I'm trying to get done outside and around my house, that's the end of those projects. Those aren't going to come up again next year. I still have the everyday maintenance, house cleaning, keeping care of the yard, the vehicles, but I don't have the big projects like the fence, the shed, and the house being sided. I won't have all that. So we'll get back to that where I have more available time. And we can devote a lot more of our time to the dioramas. So that's where we're at, guys. Thank you again. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It's free. While you're at it, hit the bell notification, you know, right up there. And you'll know when these come out. A lot of them is just me talking. A lot of them is showing what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. So we're kind of all over the place. So I hope you enjoy it. The rapport is that a lot of you do, and that's why I'm keeping the channel going. Uh, Even if it's only 5 people saying, yeah, I look forward to it all the time. And I get a lot of that. Even if it was one person, I think the one person would keep me going and not shut it down. But don't don't think for a minute that it won't get shut down if it just gets to be absolutely insane. We're not going anywhere. We've been at 900 subscribers for 2 years. There's just no, for what I'm trying to do, it's not, that's where the business part of it comes into it. It's not beneficial enough for me to keep it going. So, no, there is a limit to how far I will go, whether it's succession or it's failure. And I'm only willing to go so far and do so much before I just call it quits, because I have other options, as anybody else. So yeah, that's about it. I think we're all caught up. Again, thank you for sticking around. I've been watching. We've been holding at 901 for a couple weeks now. It did. I think it bounced up to like 904 or 905, and then it went to down 900, then it went back up to 901. I got to see some amazing motorcycles when we were down at Myrtle Beach. It was Bike Week. I got some pictures. I got some inspiration, which was another reason to keep the channel going. I am a big fan of the motorcycle kits. That's one avenue I'd love to travel down. They're a little bit bigger, easier to detail, more details visible, and there's a whole realm out there of motorcycles and design and customization, even in a model. And I met a gentleman down there that was staying behind us. He had a beautiful bike, and I'm right now doing some research, trying to find parts, what I need, the bare bones, what I need to get started. So that's in the future. That we're going to see that, and I explained to him that I have a channel, and he's more than welcome to watch as I go, and I go through the process. And when we get to that point where we're kind of getting close to having everything, I'll make a video and show the picture of the inspiration, and we'll get started on it. But until then, it's chugging along with what we got and what we got to work with. Because right now the Rusty Rotor bank fund is low. But we got some stuff going on that we'll get the fund will be coming back up, and then we'll get some stuff for the shop, and we'll review that too, as always. That's where that borrowing on the budget comes in. And don't forget, guys, that takes time away from the shop too. Anytime I go do a little side job to make money for the shop, that takes away from shop time. But that's money that we have to spend on, something maybe you guys want to see, some aftermarket parts that I normally wouldn't buy, tools, paints, that kind of stuff. So it's all beneficial, and it all helps everything go around. Big shout out and thank you to all fellow YouTubers and in the modeling community. It takes me forever to get caught up on everybody's video, and then I'm behind on somebody else's, so it's a never-ending cycle. But I've been watching, and you guys are doing some killer work, exceptional detail. Jimmy Ledford never ceases to amaze me on what the stuff he's building. Thank you, Jimmy, for checking in on me. Wonder what happened to me. I appreciate that. Tom, Old Rambler 69, he's checked in on me, and so does a couple others. But thank you to everybody. I'm okay. Just had to regroup and mentally figure out a different route to go, but push towards the original goal. And I think we're there. I hope. Knock on wood again. You guys have a great rest of your week. We should have a What's on My Bench Friday. Part 8 of the Aqua Rod should come out next weekend sometime. Again, I apologize for the lost footage. But there wasn't a lot on the footage, but it was still important. It was part 7. And if you're like me, you look forward to each segment, and then one's missing, and you're like, well, what the hell? I don't, how did he do that? Well, we'll touch base on all that in part 8 and show you what I did and what I got to fix. And we'll move forward with the engine meanwhile. And so, be looking for that. Gotta go. Again, thank you guys. This is Rusty Rotor. I'm out.